So I've been making my house kind of a smart house because, as you will when you're geeky and you buy a new house, you throw up cameras outside that have alarms and detection. Lauren's mother just arrived today, and here she is leaving. Here's us coming back in. So that's the short part. But I've also been playing around with what's called Home Assistant. I've installed Home Assistant on a server in my server room, and it has a bunch of these little panels that basically I can interact with anything. Let's see, go to my home. This is the main home room. This is my office. I can toggle my light on and off. I can turn my USB hub on that has my, that's coming up, Amy, that has my backlights. This little thing I've been playing with is this little tiny little light that I can't actually reach my camera, but I can turn that on and off. But if I click that button, it turns my lights off. But what I've also been doing is I have a garage door, and I don't like using the radio because you have to be in range. So I've tied in a little Esperino ESP8266 thing on my garage door, and I had to just like analyze the circuits, the pulses with an oscilloscope, and it now opens. I can press this button, boop, and my garage door will open. There's a little reed switch on top of the garage door that says whether it's open or closed. You can kind of see in the camera that now down here to the right, my garage door is open. And I can close it, boop, and you can just watch it close. So this is a 1985 garage door opener, nothing smart from, I don't know who even makes garage doors now. Whoops, I dragged the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, Genie, I think it's like a 1985 Genie. How can I drag this window? Come on, stop Zoom, thank you. Liftmatic or something weird like that. But as Amy pointed out earlier, is Tyrell in a meeting? As some of you know, Lauren has been out of work for a while, and until this Tuesday, she was home all the time, and it was a lot of annoying, hey, am I in a meeting or am I not? So I've set up office meeting sensor, this little blinking LED thing, or this little, it's called a Blinked from Pi Moroni. I set this little thing up by my door, and if I'm in a meeting, you'll come upstairs, you'll walk upstairs. Oh, I'm not in a meeting because there's a green light. That is Beck. But if I am in a meeting, you'll walk upstairs or come from somewhere upstairs and see, hey, there's a red light. That means I have Zoom on or I have my webcam on. But how do I do that? I made a little plugin in Zoom that detects my Zoom presence. It's installed to my user, and anytime I'm in a meeting, it will say, hey, Tyrell's in a meeting, and it's connected. I also, because I don't always use Zoom, if I'm using Discord, I want to queue it to my webcam. This tool here is the Home Assistant macOS app, which gives you some data about whether, come on. Of course it would load. It gives you sensor data, all this sensor data about all the phones connected to Home Assistant, all of the computers that I have it running on. But I also have webcam. Nope, that's not what it's called. Camera. There you go, the TideLift camera in use. So right now, because I have my webcam on, you can see that it's on. And no good way to turn that off because it's actually, I'm using OBS to show my camera. But so over here is my door. Nope, here's my door. And you can kind of see the light. It's reflecting red off of my hand because I'm in a meeting. And now let's go back to Home Assistant. The logic here is done in Node-RED. It's not really programmed at all. I have these two input states called in Tyrell in Zoom meeting, and you get these little, how do I zoom in? These little nodes that pull off. Oh shoot, I'll have to update my Node-RED. And if it's on, it'll turn on my ceiling light. So this light here, then it will, for some reason my panning has stopped. It will send a signal to my, it'll add this data. Each individually LED is addressable with color on this little Pymoroni thing. It will send that, split that off and send a MQTT message to Pymoroni blinked and turn all of the LEDs on. So on is pretty easy. I have it also automate for water cooler and demo cooler. I don't have window shades hooked up yet. I really want to do that. It's one of my wants. But if it's off, I check if I'm during office hours, and if it's between 9 to 5, I will turn the light green. But if it's outside of those hours, I'll turn it off so I don't always have a green light just shining in my office at all times. I'm using these little other togglers that can just toggle on and off green, and we'll send the message. But all the logic for how to control the LEDs is sitting on a little Raspberry Pi Zero in this little box here. And it runs MQTT, and I wrote up this little page on my wiki about how you can duplicate it if you care to. Another thing I've done is I've been controlling, I can't see I've been controlling these lights there. So those are all smart switches that I've had to flash. I put what's called ESP Home on them, and they're the equivalent of one of these smart sockets. This is a Sonoff S21 that you crack open, and it's also running just an ESP 8266, and you can control any of those switches. No, just ESP Home, Esperino. And I think that's it. So here's the meeting again. Oh, it actually full screen this time. Cool. So the end.